Welcome to the 20K Breakthrough Method training. In today's presentation, we're going to be covering how to really break through the 10K a month ceiling and scale your business without working more hours. My name is Joshua Munoz, and I'm also known as your Chief Marketing Officer. And today's training is going to be covering the proven three-part system that helps service providers scale their business. So let's jump straight in. A little bit about my personal mission. My mission as your CMO is to help you hit the 6 to 7 figures online. Not only have I done that for myself, but also done it for multiple clients. And not only how to give you the tools and strategies and support to do so, but doing it in a way, in a format where it doesn't sacrifice the most important thing in your life, which is time. And for me, one of my biggest reasons why I build my business the way I build it is to be able to have the time I have with my family. So why this matters, like I said, not only are you going to learn the framework to grow, but it's also the system is going to help you create both financial freedom, financial growth, time freedom, work-life balance, and then family priority. And I built these systems not only to create time with family, but also to create exceptional business results. You don't want to sacrifice either or, right? You can have it all, right? You can have both the time with the family and also the success in your business. One of the two favorite phrases I'd go with is building systems that create time freedom for family moments, and also success shouldn't mean sacrificing the moments that matter the most. And the goal is I don't just help you build a business, I help you build a business that serves your life, not the other way around. Most of us tend to get into business and then we get so busy in our business that our business now takes away from our life. You should build a life and build a business around that life. Now, where the journey began with this method, this journey began with me starting my own company called Grow Now Digital. It taught me the hard truth that working harder isn't enough. And I learned that the hard way. So I'm not sure if this sounds familiar, but for me, the struggle was I hit the 10K a month ceiling while working 60K plus hours a week with no clear path to scale. Right. And it was such a weird feeling because the 10K was like, oh, it was such a good start of my business. But once you get to 10K a month, you start realizing that's not really that much money when it comes to having a team in your business, paying taxes, et cetera, et cetera. And the experiment was I stopped trading time for money and begin building automated systems. And the breakthrough happened when as I created these 3 systems that allowed me to have not only 20K plus months, but to also have sustainable growth, which is the most important thing in your business. So you don't have to make the mistakes that I've done, and I've already mapped out the path through years of trial and error with dozens of service businesses, not only with myself, but being a marketer and being in behind the scene of all these businesses, you learn pretty fast. And key lessons from teaching 100 plus service businesses is that manual prospecting creates income ceilings, automation unlocks sustainable scaling, and strategic systems beat tactical hustling. And digital marketing requires frameworks. It requires systems. So these are the lessons that shape the 20K breakthrough method. So you can skip the years of struggle and kind of just adopt what I've went through, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and you're able to apply it to your business for growth. This is me going through some workshops. Like I said, I used to do a ton of in-person workshops teaching systems on how to scale through social media. And you kind of go through a lot by being behind the scenes of a lot of these businesses. So the 10K ceiling, let's talk about it. Not only at first it's an achievement, but then it also then becomes a challenge. So when I first hit my first 10K month, I remember going, oh my God, not only did I quit my job and pursue a business, I was able to make 10K a month, which starting a business, that's always like a huge goal. And it was a huge milestone, right? So that making 10K a month is a great deal, right? I'm not undermining the effort it took you to make 10K a month in your business. So you are a huge milestone. You are in a small percentage of service providers. However, this achievement often becomes a stubborn ceiling where further growth seems to require more of what you're already doing in your limited time, right? So Why most service providers get stuck is because they're either maxed out personal capacity, they have maybe inconsistent lead gen, or they're doing things manually, which is too time sensitive for their business. And then they're still trading time for money, right? The more time I put in my business, the more money I make. Breaking through requires a systematic approach, not just working harder. In my experience, I was working 60 hours plus a week just to maintain 10K months. Adding more clients meant even working more hours. So in my head, I go, wow, I don't even want to scale, because scaling right now doesn't even seem, I can't even fathom me scaling, because right now I'm so overworked with my current clients. I'm like too busy to do lead gen, but yet I need clients, and then I'm too busy working my own clients. I don't even want to bring in new clients because it's so overwhelming, right? So that's just a little bit heads up of the 10K ceiling. It's a great achievement, but then also becomes a challenge, which just is another level of growth in business. So here are the 3 key systems for breaking through. I've interconnected these systems, and these are the systems that I used and leveraged with Grown Out Digital that allowed me to go above 10K plus months and add in also more hours to my week when it comes to my personal time. So not only was I making the most money, I was working less, which was great. It was a beautiful time where I was able to really leverage things that I was passionate about, which is awesome. So there's really 3 steps in the 20K breakthrough method. The first one is automating your sales and marketing. Replace manual prospecting with strategic automation that generates leads while you focus on high value work. This reduced lead gen by 85%, and this gave me consistent lead flow every week. A lot of times, the biggest thing that irks me a lot is a lot of people go, well, AI, and it's like, whoa. Before you go step into AI, leverage automation and automated systems. Most of the times when you're doing your sales, your marketing, whether that's you manage your pipeline or pulling people in, you're still pressing the buttons manually. There's so much automation tools, and we'll go into that, the specifics that you can leverage for that. The second system is strategic ad distribution. If you want to grow, you got to implement either Meta ads or LinkedIn outreach. These 2 platforms are, for me, have been the best for service-based businesses. I realized I got higher quality prospects and I got predictable customer acquisition. The third system is optimize client delivery, streamlining onboarding and delivery processes to serve more clients in less time without sacrificing quality. This was a 50% reduction in delivery time, which then increased client satisfaction, right? So now happy clients become more referrals becomes more business. So that's the third system. These systems work together to create a scalable business method and model that breaks through the 10K ceiling. And the key insight is that systems, not hustle, creates breakthrough growth, right? If you're going to keep trying to hustle your way to the top, you're going to be burnt out like I did. So take the years of struggle that I went through of trying to grow and staying in that ceiling, and realizing that systems is what's going to get you to the next step. All right, so let's go through system 1. So automating your sales and marketing. So the 10K ceiling breaker is you want to replace time-consuming manual work with automated systems that generate qualified leads while you sleep. Why automation is the key. The difference between manual prospecting and automated lead gen is it will transform your business by replacing inconsistent manual outreach with systematic, predictable lead gen that works 24/7. Right? Automations and technology can work while you're sleeping. So the implementation strategy is what I recommend doing is, number 1, map out your customer journey. It was mind-boggling how many business owners we work with in Grown Out Digital that never mapped out their actual journey of what the customer goes through. And it is why that's the first thing we used to do for clients, because without this, you have no clarity. So what the customer journey is you identify what's the key touch points from awareness to conversion that your clients go through. Because when you're able to do that, then that gives you clarity and you're able to find automation opportunities, right? And once you understand their touch points, you now then can focus on number 2, which is building automation sequences, right? Create nurturing email funnels, follow-up workflows, and qualification systems from that customer journey. So once you map out your customer journey, next thing you build automations that will help clients go from not knowing who you are, awareness, to then conversion. And building these systems allows you to become consistent in every interaction with every client or prospect. And the next thing is implementing a lead scoring. Definitely want to focus your limited time only on prospecting that's most likely to convert. This allows for efficiency, right? So when you put these systems in place, there's ways where you can track and see the quality of people, right? So if a person has been through your funnel, saw your ad, been on YouTube, been on your social media, and then lands into your sales call, that person may be a higher quality than a person who just saw you from one ad, right? So this allows you to, lead score allows you to kind of focus on what's the hottest people that you can sell today, right? Like we used to have a saying, Grow Now Digital. It's like, we're only looking for clients who want to grow now, not grow later. So it was easy for us to say, do you want to grow now? No. Okay, perfect. Next. Do you want to grow now? No, perfect. Next. So lead scoring allows you to do that when you have these systems in place. And then for here are key components to effective automations. Like I said, lead capture. This is high value lead magnets. One way to automate your leads is by having a way where you can collect them. A lot of business owners have only their website and a contact form on the website where they collect information from clients. Finding a way for you to capture leads, whether it's a lead magnet or a free download, will allow you to start building your database. And if you want to pass the 10K a month, you definitely need a database and more leads to be able to convert. Next, once you have lead capture, you want to think about nurturing sequences, right? Behavior triggered emails that build trust and guide prospects through your sales process. Then from there, you want to create automated booking, right? Self-service appointment scheduling that eliminates the back and forth emails, right? Create a link where people can book calls with you. So when you're bringing them through this process, at any moment, they can just schedule a call with you. So now you're focused on getting on sales calls and not going back and forth on emails. Now from there, the qualification system, smart filters that ensure you only spend time with prospects who meet your criteria. And here's a quick implementation insight. Start small with one automation sequence, measure results, then expand. Perfect one system at a time rather than implementing everything at once, right? So I'm going to give you all the systems in today's training, but like I said, I'm going to give you implementation strategies that allow you to just take it step by step, inch by inch, right? Inch by inch makes a cinch, yard by yard is hard. However, you should be working on these things. One of the recommended tools, if you are looking for a tool to do your automations and your systems, your landing pages and your funnels, is Ascend CRM. I'm a little bit biased because I own Ascend CRM, and I created it because I spent so many years working with business owners who have just struggled with a system and a CRM that allows them to do everything for the marketing and sales. So it is an all-in-one solution. So if you are interested in it, let me know. Definitely would love to give you access to Ascend. And if not, find a tool that works for you, right? I'm not married to any tool, only tools that allows you to take action and implement. And then results from implementing the system, it's going to reduce manual prospecting, it's going to increase quality of leads, and it's going to give you more consistent lead flow, and then it's going to save you time, which is very important if you want to get past the 10K month. Now, system 2, strategic ad distribution. Once your automation systems are now in place, you need a consistent flow of qualified leads. So at Grow Now Digital, we leverage meta ads and LinkedIn outreach to fill our pipeline with premium clients. So now that we have automation, we can handle the amount of leads coming in and we can score them accordingly. What we did is now we launched meta ads. Here's meta ad strategies that work. Number 1, value first lead magnets. Create ads promoting high value content that solves a specific pain point, not direct sales pitch. Kind of what I'm doing in this training, right? I'm giving you value in the systems, and you can take it and use it, right? Number 2 is create custom audiences, layering, right? So build specific audiences based off industry, position, interest, and behaviors. And number 3, retargeting sequences. Create multi-touch retargeting campaigns that guide prospects through your value ladder. So best believe you see one of my ads, you're going to start seeing other ads, right? Because that's called retargeting. Companies like Amazon and all the big companies are doing it. When you search for something, all of a sudden you start seeing the ads everywhere. That's how you want your business seen on social media. So here are pro tips when you're running meta ads. is you want to start small with daily budgets, $10 to $20 a day to test and optimize before scaling. Definitely don't put a bunch of money on ads without testing. Test 3 to 5 different ad creatives simultaneously so you can kind of see what's resonating most with your clients. And then focus on engagement metrics first, then conversion metrics second. And then always connect your ads to your automated nurture sequences so you're bringing people through the funnel and you're able to evaluate how well the system works. Okay, the meta ads campaign structure. Here's our win-in structure that focuses on building the complete funnel when you launch meta ads, which a lot of times people launch one ad and go, well, it's not working. Well, you want to build your ads this way. First, you want to have awareness campaign, which is valuable content that positions your expertise. So people now start seeing you go, oh, Josh has a good point. Well, he said this is great. That's awesome. And then you have a consideration fund campaign, which is case studies and then the specific problem you're solving. Then conversions are like pushing people through a specific webinar or training, registration that leads to either a call or for them to leave with something valuable, right? So in other terms, people call this tofu, mofu, bofu, which is like top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. However, running ads, you typically want all three at a start, and then you're able to test, see what works, because you want to pull people in, get them to see you. Once they see your first awareness campaign, then you can retarget them with this campaign and vice versa. So you can start using the strategy right away. I wouldn't recommend just one-on-one campaign. Run a few of them that kind of goes through this stages. Next, we have the LinkedIn outreach strategy, which every service provider should be using LinkedIn. This definitely complements your ads. You can test conversations with business owners on LinkedIn for free and to see what works and what doesn't work and utilize that for meta ads. So having the LinkedIn for direct feedback and then meta ads, it's such a great combo. So complement your ads with strategic LinkedIn outreach. You want to have a connection strategy. So you want to have targeted connections with personalized notes. You can connect with specific people in the industry that you target. Then you want to share insights before pitching, right? Whether that's, hey, let's hop on a call. Who's your ideal client? Or, hey, have you noticed this? This is the blog I'm seeing with what's hot right now on digital marketing, right? So whatever your business serves, show up with value first, and then have content engagement, right? Strategic commenting on prospect post. A lot of people miss the ball, right? They just try to outreach and pitch everyone. That's like going to a networking event and just saying, hi, my name is Josh. You want to buy my services? It's like, no, you have a conversation with them. And one of the best ways to do that is to show love, which means going on their LinkedIn and actually engaging with their posts and what they have going on and being a voice in your industry that you serve. Start becoming that person in your business, in the business industry you're in, because that's going to make you a go-to person, right? People are going to start seeing your name. People are going to start seeing your face. And that's exactly what you want with LinkedIn. So don't drop the ball with LinkedIn. A lot of times people are surprised, but definitely spend your time on meta ads and LinkedIn. That's what helped us scale. And results for implementing the system, better qualified leads, a lower cost because we were getting free leads from LinkedIn and then paid from Meta. We were getting a handful of book calls per week, higher close rates, especially LinkedIn, higher quality, and the time spent on manual prospecting was going down, right? So, which is always what you want. System number 3, optimizing now client delivery. So the final piece of the 20K breakthrough method is transforming how you deliver services to your clients. So why client delivery is crucial is because most service providers spend 70 to 80% of their time on delivery, which typically keeps you stuck. Even small efficiency gains create massive capacity. Better systems lead to superior client results, and then consistent delivery creates scalable reputation. So here's some benefits from having a client delivery optimized is you serve more clients without more hours. You improve client satisfaction and results, and you create systems that can be delegated later, which is a big part of scaling a business, is not thinking about how can I serve more clients as who can help me serve more clients. And when you develop a system, it's easier for you to bring someone in. So you just say, hey, this is how we deliver services to clients. You can have either a project manager or a client success manager, which I highly recommend. And then from there, higher profit margins on each client, right? If you're able to keep and maintain more clients, it allows you to not lose clients. The worst thing is retention, right? So if you have a retention rate that's low, you now have to get more clients, and now you're in that wheel instead of maintaining clients. So here's a 3-step delivery optimization process. Number 1, streamline client onboarding, right? So replace chaotic ad hoc onboarding with a systematic approach that sets clear expectations and collects all necessary information up front. So before 3 to 4 hours per new client with multiple back and forth emails. After 45 minutes per client with automated intake forms and welcome sequences. So the cool thing, what you want to do is leverage it. Like, for example, my CRM Ascend, you create an onboarding form, whether that's a video that you send out to them saying, hey, this is the information we need, or if that's a specific welcome sequence where it's like, hey, this is what to expect. Once you close a client, honestly, the most important thing you have to do is learn how to now manage expectations. That's how you have clients long term, is you're managing clients' expectations. Once clients' expectations are drop and you don't have that communication with them, they leave. So managing client expectations, even if results aren't coming in, if you're managing expectations like saying like, hey, this is part of the marketing process, like this is what to expect. The first few months, it takes time to grow. These are the headaches that you're going to go through, right? You're giving them the roadblocks that they typically will go through, so they're not surprised when it comes in, right? So like when I take a meta ad client, I said, don't be surprised if it's not the first ad that's a winning ad. Like the goal is to find a winning ad. Doesn't mean we find the winning ad right away. So this is the expectation to run the meta ads, right? So managing expectation is going to help you tremendously once you have the system. Then from there, creating templated service delivery, right? Create standardized templates, SOPs, and frameworks for core deliverables instead of just starting from scratch each time. So before, if you're doing inconsistent quality, you're not sure your deliverable, definitely create something that's templated so you can just copy and paste for each client. And once we implemented Grown Out Digital, we had one system. And the system was create a Google Drive, create a folder. In that folder, we had these things. We knew the client's goals. Then we create the client dashboard. So by the first week, clients will have access to their dashboard, which gave them clear metrics of what they're gaining in the marketing, right? So this allowed us to spend only 3 to 4 hours per deliverable with higher quality and consistency. So our clients were like, wow, I was not only onboarded quickly, however, I can see what's happening right away. And that visibility is important, even if there's nothing there, right? Just them knowing that I'm able to see what's going on. And then from there, automated reporting communication, right? So replace one-time client updates with systemized reporting and scheduled communication touch points. So the cool thing about our automated dashboard is we can set it to communicate with the client either daily or weekly or monthly. So we would have that conversation with clients, say, hey, based off your offer and your business, what are your expectations for communication? And then we'll go, oh, you know what? Like, I got to see the dashboard daily because this is important on how fast we're scaling. Some clients say, weekly will be preferred. So we would have our dashboard system send them a weekly or bi-weekly report, so they knew how many leads are coming in, how many book calls they had, and it was a beautiful dashboard that we set up. But this allowed us to skip the back and forth emails or the last minute Zoom calls. Let's hop on a Zoom call because I have no clue what's going on, and that used to give us a headache. We had one client who just constantly said, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. And then we realized, me and my former business partner, we realized it was kind of our fault, right? Because we didn't give them this automated reporting. So then this allowed us to just get with the clients, and every other week we got a chance to get on a quick call with them. And we didn't get a chance to, the calls went from what's going on to, hey, let's go over the numbers and what we can do to improve. So the client relationship just improved because it was never now back and forth, but it was more like they're aware of the numbers because our automated reporting, we just came together to kind of mastermind for growth. So it's like, boom, we're on the same team. Let's maximize growth based off of what we have going on. So definitely recommend automating your reporting. Like I said, for results for us, Grown Out Digital helped us not only improve the happiness of our clients, but the time we spent with clients, and it made the time with our clients more efficient because we're talking about growth instead of what's going on. All right, those are the 3 systems, right? So we covered the 3 systems. Number 1, definitely leverage marketing automation for your marketing and sales. Number 2, Meta ads and LinkedIn, get them going and just start small. And number 3, find in ways where you can optimize your client deliverables will allow you to save so much time so you're not just bogged down. But these are things, one of the most important things to get these 3 systems in place is the CEO mindset, right? You got it. What shifted for us to create these systems was not, it was the mindset that shifted it for us. That's what allowed us to create the systems. So what you want to think about is the CEO is managing systems, not tasks. So implementing the 3 key systems is only half the breakthrough. The other half is shifting how you think from a service provider to CEO. So you want to now think, I'm running a business. So you're shifting from the operator to CEO mindset, which is a 10K operator mindset is works in their business, 20K plus, they work on their business. Focuses on completing tasks, where 20K plus, they focus on optimizing systems. Instead of focusing on reactive to client demands, you're proactive or strategic vision. You're thinking ahead of time. Instead of personally handling all decisions, you create decision frameworks, right? Like if this happens, then I do this. If that happens, we do this. And then values busyness and hustle. The 20K CEO mindset values efficiency and results. So the key mindset shifts to implement is system ownership. Your job is to build and refine systems, not to personally execute every task. Ooh, that was a hard pill for me to swallow because as you start your own business, you have a sense of control. And then what you do with that is you think no one else can do your job the way you can do it with your clients. And then you start realizing you're doing every task and you feel like you're responsible for every task. You got to switch that out. You want to dedicate time every week to work on your systems, not just in them, right? So you don't have to do everything. From there, results versus activities. Measure success by outcomes and ROI, not hours worked or tasks completed. Focus on the metrics that directly impact revenue and client satisfaction. Lastly, strategic time allocation. Schedule dedicated blocks for high leverage activities like system building, strategic planning, and relationship development. Protect this time fiercely. Very important. That's how you're going to work on your business and get out of the ceiling, is you got to be focused on these mindset shifts. And that was the breakthrough for me, right? The breakthrough for me when I stopped seeing myself as a primary service provider and started to view myself as the architect of systems. I said, I'm not going to manage tasks no more. It was so overwhelming. And I just got anxiety anytime I was late for a task or forgot one, God forbid. So in that case, I started viewing myself as the architect of systems. Let's put these systems in place and let's run the systems. It's like going out and playing a football game with no football plays and just trying to win the game. Unfortunately, you're going to lose to the team who has better plays. So that's very important. Here's a cool framework that if you want to adopt, this is what I recommend. Like I said, I recommend starting small, right? Starting to develop the habit is going to change the direction of your business. So here's a quick framework I recommend. Spend at least 3 hours on systems and reviewing and optimizing them. Spend 2 hours on data analyzing and strategic planning. Spend 2 hours on high-level client strategy, and then spend 1 hour business growth learning. Now, what we did right there, that's 3 hours, 2 hours, that's 5 plus 2, 7, 8. Map out 8 hours in your next week right now. If you're watching this training, map out 8 hours and block these out and have them repeat weekly. And what you do is when you are working on these things, nothing else comes in the way. Because what tends to happen, we're so busy that we put them time on our calendar and then we get so overwhelmed with doing task stuff that we end up not working on our business, right? So definitely recommend adopting this framework and allow you to work on your business. And this is the reality of building your business to 20K plus months. A lot of these things maybe not even new to what you've heard of. It's just It doesn't matter what you know, it matters what you do and what you apply. So my intention with this training is to help you apply these things into your business. Now, if here are some practical implementation tips, and here's how you can now start implementing the 20K breakthrough method in your business. Like I said, start small, build momentum. Begin with one automation per week. Each week, once you start doing it week by week, it creates a compounding effect. Next, use existing tools and templates, right? Find tools that already you can leverage, whether it's Zapier, whether it's Ascend CRM. I have a lot of tools that's already integrated, or Asana, or project management tools. Start leveraging what's out there. And then from there, your target ROI, not perfection, right? I never really found a perfect system. It's always optimizing, but you want to find something that increases the ROI, and then start measuring what matters. Focus on specific metrics in your business, whether that's lead gen, conversion rates, the delivery time, or client value, and then ignore vanity metrics that don't give growth. Right? Like, I can care less that you got 10 million views on TikTok. If it doesn't bring revenue, it's not necessarily a key metric. Is it cool that you did that? For sure. Celebrate that success. But start measuring what matters the most. And then from there, like I was saying before, block implementation time. Schedule the time on your calendar to get this done. If not, it will never get it done. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And then get implementation support, right? If you are looking for help, get contractors, right, for specific implementation rather than trying to do everything yourself. Like I said, you don't have to do everything yourself. That's kind of the whole reason we're shifting our mindset. The ROI of an expert implementation is usually 3 to 5x. There's usually people can build it better. Let me tell you something. Once I started having people do things that they're better at than myself, business started booming, right? I kept trying to control things, realizing, wait, not only am I doing everything myself, there's people who do it better than me. Okay. So here's a quick kind of first 30 days, right? Quick win implementation plan. If you're eager to go to the next step, this is what I recommend. Week 1, foundation, at least set up your client booking automation. Start creating onboarding templates. Week 2 to 3, start building your lead gen. Build your first lead magnet. Set up a meta ad campaign. Just learn how to do it and get it done. Week 4, optimization, right? Build delivery templates and then create a CEO dashboard. This is what you could do in your first 30 days if you're looking for a quick plan to implement in your business. And here's some just recommended tools. Obviously, Calendly, it's a good calendar platform if you're not doing automated calls. Ascend CRM, where I kind of all-in-one, which is great. And there's also other all-in-one CRMs that are awesome as well too. Zapier, Meta Ads Manager, ClickUp, Asana, Notion, like there's all these tools that you can leverage in technology to help you implement and manage the systems. Instead of just posting whenever, use Notion and find a quick template on Notion where you can have a social media calendar. Now you map things out and boom, all of a sudden, look what you have. You have a social media posting system, right? So don't make it complicated. Keep it simple. Here's some results for clients. I have so many results for clients. This is one client that we implemented systems. We've done some bigger months for her, and we actually helped her hit her first 7-figure year, which is great. Another client, Brendan, owns a modern mindfulness. We helped him increase his leads. We did LinkedIn outreach for him, and he was getting frustrated because we were getting too many leads. And then we realized he didn't have the client optimization system. So then we helped him optimize his client onboarding, which was great. So the average results from implementing systems, we know it's going to increase your revenue. We know it's going to increase your client value. We know it's going to save you time. And we know you're going to recommend this to others. But the most important part is to implement it for yourself, right? Implement these systems because we know what it's going to bring. And it is scary to go to the next step, but it is your turn. If you're stuck at that ceiling, you want to hit 20K plus months, it's your turn to implement. All right. Now, if you are looking for help or guidance in this is exactly what we will actually do. This is what I actually do is I'll actually come in and help you implement everything. And one of the first things I like to do is kind of do a breakthrough strategy session, which I call the revenue roadmap. So if you're actually looking for help on what systems, you're like, Josh, like I get it, I got to implement these systems, but it's just too overwhelming. I'm too busy. What we could do is we can hop on a revenue roadmap And the revenue roadmap session, what we're going to do is we're going to identify your specific bottlenecks that's preventing you to grow beyond 10K plus months. We're going to create a customized implementation plan for your specific service business. And then we'll calculate potential ROI from implementing the breakthrough method. And then we'll determine which systems to prioritize for fast results in your business. And then from there, we'll explore how we can help implement these systems for you the next 60 days. So take everything you learn in this training. Feel free to implement yourself for sure, 100%. There's so many tools and resources to do so. I will be launching more tools and resources for this. If you are looking for an implementation plan yourself and actually to map out your customer journey and to do a revenue roadmap session, click the link below. I only do 5 sessions per week because that's my system, right? So schedule the link below where we can go over and now build out your roadmap and how we're going to implement it for your business. And like I said, the strategy session is complimentary. So whether if you go with me or not, you'll leave that call with the roadmap, right? So my intention is to educate you on, like, based off your business, based where you're at, this is what I would recommend to implement. This is how I recommend to implement it. And then from there, if you want to do it yourself, perfect. You'll be ready to rock and roll. Then, of course, if you want my guidance or you want me to fully do it, then we could talk about that as well too on the strategy call. However, book your revenue roadmap. Let's go ahead and map out your business and how we can get you to the next step, and then we'll take it from there. And that's the 20K breakthrough method, right? So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I appreciate you staying this long in this presentation, this training. I know these are things that, like I said, you may not have heard of. These are things that you might have heard of but not have implemented yet. Let me tell you something. Your life and your business will change completely once you implement this. So I look forward to seeing you on the revenue roadmap call. And it's time to scale your business plus 20K. Let's go.